welcome back to another episode of NCP Predicts. My name is Stazz, and I have, again, Mike and Matt. Say hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Yay. Just like last episode, our first episode, we're going to be talking about a couple of TV shows and then conclude with some movie news. Our first little tidbit to discuss is the crossover episode with Arrow and Flash. Want to start? I liked it a lot. I thought it was really, really good. I'm going to say it was a little bit basic in how they crossed over, but I liked it, regardless of simplicity or whatever. What do you guys think? Just off the top, like.
Well, I'll start off with the Flash episode, the first one that they did.
Okay.
I really liked how, like, just out of nowhere, all of a sudden, the Green Arrow just shoots the guy, and they're like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool, but that was, I don't know, it just took me by surprise, even though I knew it was a crossover. I didn't expect that's how he was going to come into the picture.
Yeah, because he came in like 5 or 10 minutes in, right?
Yeah, he just came out of nowhere, like, shot the guy and then ran.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
That was awesome.
I really liked the way they kind of mixed their personalities.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was really interesting, because I was wondering how they were going to do that, like, because Arrow's so, like,
serious, dark.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing this to like save my city, and Flash / Barry Allen.
Gotta do what I gotta do, yeah.
Yeah, and then Barry Allen's more like kind of taking it.
They explained it really well in the Arrow episode.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, "Oh, my city's not like yours. It's rough, and I lost all these people and all that."
Mm-hmm. And he keeps trading himself in, like the person that like he's giving up Oliver Crane to be the Arrow, but Barry Allen's like, no, because you're actually better than that, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So, but no, I totally agree. I thought both episodes were really good. Especially the Flash. I liked how again Arrow just popped up in there, and he was like, he shoots the guy or like wounds him or something like that in the shoulder, and he's like, "Come talk to me when you're done." And he just runs away and stuff like that.
What I did love was when Arrow's like, "Yeah, I'll train you a little bit," and then he got him in the back with the arrow.
Oh my god,
that was so awesome.
So just to give, if you haven't got this by now, it's all spoiler material right now. But there's a specific point in the Flash part of the episode where Oliver Queen is going to train or help give the Flash or Barry Allen some tips. And Barry Allen's just like, "I'm faster than anything you can throw at me. Okay, I'll humor you." And then the first arrow, he shoots at the arrow shoots at the Flash. He catches it, and then as soon as he catches it, 2 arrows from 2 other spots hit him right in the back. It was hilarious.
When I saw that, I was like, "Yes!"
Yeah, and Barry Allen, the Flash, was like, "Oh my! Like, holy crap!" And then
he's like, "You really shot me.
You shot me in the back." And then the Flash was like, "Yeah, I hear you heal fast too," and he yanks the arrows out too.
The arrow.
I also did love
the arrow. I'm sorry.
How they incorporated that again later on when they're fighting. And he's like, "Fool me once," and then it gets him in the leg.
Yeah.
He's like, "Try to run now."
Yeah, exactly. That's so true. I think with how I think that the episode was done very well. The showrunners are doing a really good job with both those series. Do you think that we're going to see more? And this goes into the predicting part. But do you guys think that we're going to see more crossover?
Oh yeah, they even showed that at the end of the Arrow episode.
Mm-hmm.
Gave him a reserved spot for his uniform in the Arrow cave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really think we will too. I hope we do, because I think they did a really good job, just overall.
Do you think that we can get longer arcs with them crossed over, kind of a thing? Because it is a very interesting aspect is that they're going on at the same time. Both seasons are still going on, so they were able to do one episode a night crossed over. I would like them to do more than one episode, kind of a thing. Maybe they can stagger it to where the special crossover is 2 episodes long, and then they don't show like Arrow for 2 weeks or something like that, or
it would essentially just be Arrow or the Flash / Arrow.
Yeah,
I think is what you're asking. Like instead of just labeling it the Flash like featuring Arrow or Arrow featuring Flash kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You want to see just like for 2 days straight, just see the same show.
Well, basically the same show, and then longer for technically 2 episodes.
They might do that with the second and closing of the next season.
They might.
Something big could happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got Ra's al Ghul coming up with.
Yeah, we got Ra's al Ghul, and then we have Doctor. Oh, I always blank on his name.
Was it Wes?
Doctor Westman. This is totally bad podcasting, because I should know this by now. But the Doctor on the Flash, they're two baddies that they're gonna come to an head, either somewhere towards the end of the season, and now we have two examples of villains being held somewhere. You have Slade and Captain Boomerang held, along with the Argus people in the Flash on the Arrow, and then now you have
about that a little bit with predictions.
Mm-hmm. And now you have the pipeline with those other I believe it's now the gas man, and then the electricity guy, even though he's dead.
Dr. Harrison.
Dr. Harrison. I always get that mixed up.
I get him mixed up with everyone.
Yeah. It's easy too.
Okay. Anything that you guys didn't like? Because I was totally like fanboy like Bliss, because I was enjoying both episodes really well.
Yeah, I was kind of the same way.
So was I.
One thing I don't like, or one thing that I kind of picked up that I was like, okay. I guess you can kind of say how like quickly they came into each episode, like what we said earlier. Flash was boom there, or I'm sorry, the Arrow was there, and then that continued the episode, and then vice versa.
Oh yeah, when Arrow's about to get hit with the boomerangs, Flash.
Caught him. Like, I totally get that for like a first kind of a thing, but I wish they kind of led up to something a little bit more, because they alluded to it in those past episodes of Flash and Arrow that they're going to be doing a crossover. I did not think it was going to come this fast.
Well, they're going more or less Arrowverse Flash.
Yeah. Oh, that's true too. Yeah, and that really wasn't a thing, to be honest. Other than that first crossover.
They wanted to throw you off.
Yeah, and I totally get that, and I'm glad it wasn't a hardcore like we're going to face off the first episode and then they conclude in the second. No, that wasn't how it was. Thank God.
Yeah.
I mean, you could definitely tell though with each episode that you were watching Flash. Or you were watching Arrow. Because like in the Flash episode, you could definitely, you knew just the way the characters, like everybody's like personality was more kind of upbeat. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Then you get to the Arrow episode, that's kind of a good point. You have that more like darker feel to it. Yeah. And then it has Flash in there. Kind of seeing that and seeing him deal with that was really cool.
I agree with that. I liked how Barry Allen, the Flash, to Oliver Queen, the Arrow, was like, dude, like, this is dark, and why are you making it this dark?
Oh, yeah, when he shot the guy in the hand anyway.
When he's interrogating that guy.
Yeah, that was... And I'm glad that somebody outside the TV show, or outside that universe, said something. Like, dude...
Or outside of Oliver's group.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, outside. Because Felicity's been saying something, Diggle's been saying something... And Oliver's just like, no, I have to be the Arrow. This is who I am. And now, Barry Allen's like, no, be Oliver. That's who you should always be. And I wonder now if Oliver's going to start coming back. And I guess this will segue into predictions. I predict that in this next couple episodes, at least with Oliver, we're going to see him do more possibly in the Oliver sphere in his day job. He might get...
Well, they just kind of allude to that with the girl at the end of the episode.
Yes!
That was the girl that his mom pushed off and paid off.
Paid off, yeah.
Because she was pregnant, I think?
Yes, with Oliver's child. That's right.
So that would be interesting.
And that was right before they left on the boat trip, too, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Roughly. Or right before that.
Yes.
So I wonder if we're going to see more of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we will. There'll be some more home drama coming to that show.
Yeah, Oliver will be a daddy.
Everybody's being daddies all of a sudden on that show. Diggle, now Oliver. Speaking of which, total like nerdgasm, but when Barry brought Felicity to the Star Labs and her shirt went on fire.
Oh gosh!
I was like, oh my,
Emily.
I'm all smitchered. I'm all smutting. Anyway, so my first prediction is we're going to see more Oliver Queen in his Oliver Queen consolidate job. I think he's going to try and take back what was lost, at least on the company aspect, because we don't know what Ray Palmer's going to do.
With Ray Palmer too, we saw, was it last week?
The week before.
They had him looking at the schematics for
for Adam's suit.
Yeah, the Adam suit.
Yeah.
I think I don't know who the Adam is. I know I think we might have talked about it on our first show, but
a little bit, but not much.
Yeah, a little bit, but I don't know if he's going to be a villain or not. I don't know if the Adam is a villain.
I don't think
he is,
him.
but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, could be totally wrong because Arrow likes to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't have the feeling that he's the villain.
Yeah. No, I know. I agree.
He might not be on Arrow's side, but he might not be the bad guy.
Yeah,
either.
it's really hard to tell.
Because right now you kind of got everyone kind of separating, all being good in their own way, but yet kind of not working together.
Yeah, I mean they're all working toward the greater good kind of thing.
They really like to do that too.
They all have
their
their own way.
Like with Dr. Harrison, at the end you get all these. Oh, he's a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
What if he's not? Like with Oliver's mom, you got the feeling that Oliver's mom was a bad person at the beginning, but then you kind of get more, and you're like, oh, she's doing this because someone's forcing her.
Someone's forcing her to do it. Yeah.
With Dr. Harrison, it's kind of is it a fake out? Are they wanting us to think that, or are we just thinking too much about it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that fan theory still holds water now, with Dr. Harrison being
I really don't think he is.
I mean, it's an interesting idea because he is from the future, or he has technology from the future. Because he was talking to his computer when Barry Allen lost his powers at the previous episode, and the computer was giving him tactile feedback saying nothing about the Flash is in the future. So I wonder if he's some sort of time travel. Well, he is a time traveler in some regards, but I wonder if he's going to be a bad guy.
Well, it makes sense because they already had hints to that when the detective was asking him different things like where he was, how he came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
14 years ago.
Yeah.
And he was look up so and so.
And then not only that, but then the detective got that warning.
Yeah, with the yellow streaks.
Yeah.
Which is supposed to be in next week's episode. They're supposed to bring the streak.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was in the trailer for the next week.
Okay, I totally missed that up. I totally missed that.
So we'll see what that is.
Okay. So more of Oliver Queen, and being Oliver Queen and possibly getting his company back. And on the Flash aspect, I think we're going to see him becoming more of a, hero. Because we got the beginning steps of that. Because what was it? Iris renamed the blog, the Flash blog. I think that he's going to start becoming more of a, almost like Superman, in a sense. Because we got a little bit of that, but also keep in mind is that task force was agreed upon to hunt him down. So I think we're going to get some sort of possibly resolution or conflict with that.
Well, yeah, look at now he has Iris going against the Flash, kind of a thing.
Yes,
she's definitely nope, you were out of control, and task force is now going to get you.
The rage thing that happened to him.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of weird, though. From the beginning, I was like, okay. But after the episode was over, I was okay with it. Well, while I was watching, I was like, this is kind of stupid. And then after that, I'm like, all right, I guess I can deal with it.
Yeah.
Different reasons.
In my head, it was a reason for the Arrow to kind of show up.
And fight with
you need Flash. A superhero to stop a superhero, just like you need a metahuman to beat a metahuman.
Yeah. Oh, another thing too. I liked how they kind of didn't necessarily explain metahumans in the Arrow, because when the Flash showed up in front of Diggle basically freaked out.
That was hilarious.
He's like, "Who's that hole there, Lord?" And he's just like, "You didn't know about me?" And he's just staring like, "Do you do everything really fast?" That was hilarious. So I'm kind of glad that they left that part of that science behind the metahumans kind of in the dark, and I hope that they don't necessarily answer that with quick little oh, it's because of the nuclear reactor or something stupid like that.
Particle accelerator.
Same-ish thing. So, do you guys want to add any predictions? I mean, those are basically.
I got a few. Okay. First off, for Arrow, I strongly feel we will see Slade Wilson the next episode.
I was actually going to say that.
What makes you think that?
I just have that feeling that they're like well, actually, here's my reasoning behind it. When Oliver in that Flash episode, when he was in there and they're sealing up the Rage guy.
Yeah.
I don't remember what they called him.
I don't remember either.
It was like Captain Rage or something.
Some retard.
So they're locking him up, and Oliver goes like, "Oh yeah, I have a prison similar to this, but it's not as like high tech kind of a thing." And he was like commenting about his prison and how he's like got Slade Wilson there, you know. And then
didn't he say it's an island?
Yeah, on the island and stuff. And then at the end of Arrow, when he added the boomerang in there, he was like, "Oh look, we have 2 people on the island." They kept on bringing it up, so I'm like. Yeah. Bringing it up like that, I take it as hints. I just feel he's going to come back. Maybe because they're doing the analysis on that Arrow. Because she just picked it up.
That's
so I'm going to do the analysis and watch it possibly be Slade Wilson.
Yeah, I mean that would be really cool if it is Slade Wilson, but
who killed
Sarah? But
that would be nuts because then I would have been right.
Yeah, you would have been right. But it's also kind of lame because he was just the villain last season. You know what I mean?
He's a good villain, though.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I totally agree. He is a good villain, and he has history with the Arrow. But I kind of want this Ra's al Ghul to become more of a bigger thing. But and it probably will be as well.
You have to think about it, too.
I don't think it'll be, like, that big, but I think he'll show up in the episode. It won't be like, "Oh, I'm here, I'm ready." They'll just probably show it and be like, "Oh." You know what I mean? I don't think it'll be like last episode. I think it'll be like a cat and mouse game while he's catching the other big bad guy.
Okay.
What we have to think about too is, when he actually came back, how many episodes did we actually see him in the full gear? I don't think it was that many.
Like 4, I think?
Yeah, like it wasn't a whole lot.
Yeah, we didn't see his full potential.
Yeah,
Wilson.
Yeah, because we saw...
There was a lot of him, like, being, like, kind of diplomatic.
Yeah, and masterminding.
Yeah.
There wasn't as much. It wasn't until like the very final episode where you actually got a lot of him fighting in the full gear.
That's true, yeah.
So he hasn't been a full blown villain.
That is true, and he didn't pop up in season 2 until halfway in.
Right.
Because one of our friends is watching that season, and I asked him, "Oh, did Slade pop up?" And he's like,
"Who's
no.
There?
Yeah, who's that?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot it." Because season 2 is like 20-some episodes, isn't it, right?
They all are. They're
close
pretty
to
high up to 23, 24.
Because he was they actually showed him more in the flashbacks.
In the flashbacks, yeah.
Than as opposed to how many episodes he was in the present.
Yeah, they showed him as Slade, more or less, than Deathstroke.
Deathstroke, yeah. Yeah, that's right, because he doesn't pop in officially until Brother Blood makes an appearance. With the bid for the mayorship.
Yeah, so it wasn't totally just him.
That's right, yeah.
So I have a feeling we're gonna see a role of him coming back.
I would be okay with that. Again, if they do it right.
We still have a whole lot to go with his sister and
that's right, and Malcolm.
I like how they showed going back. I liked how they showed Thea just walking in the Flash shooting by her. I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. She was on the phone. She's like, "This kind of kid hasn't been at anything." And boom.
Yeah, because we really don't know with because we have Malcolm Merlin. We have Thea now. We don't know what she's doing. Slade Wilson. We think he's still there, and then we have
Captain Boomerang. Apparently, is now a villain.
Captain Boomerang.
Captain.
And then what was the other one? I just had it.
Ra's al Ghul.
Ra's al Ghul. What was the other one?
What about Captain Cold? Because he might make an appearance.
Flash.
Well, that is Flash, but he might make an appearance in an Arrow. Because I have a funny feeling he will. That will be another crossover.
If they announce another crossover, I have a feeling he will play a role.
Was it the end of the Flash episode we saw the fire guy?
Yes, I totally forgot about that. Yes.
Yeah.
And that was what's her face's fiance, right?
Oh, was it?
Because they showed a picture of her looking at it, and all of a sudden we see this guy who's a bum who looks like hasn't been on
that'll.
And I thought that was him.
I don't know if it was you, Mike. You said that her fiance would play a part, like with
With Flash?
I think with her and Flash or something.
Oh, it'd be like a love triangle kind of thing?
Yeah. I didn't.
Something like that.
I did mention it at one point. Yeah.
Like
I don't remember exactly what I said, but I do remember bringing it up.
It's more like a... Well, now Iris is technically out of the picture. In a sense.
Yeah.
In a sense.
To the Flash. But not to Barry, because she's like, oh, I should have listened to my dad. I should have listened to Barry.
Yeah.
So now she's probably going to cling to Barry and her fiance and her dad a lot more.
Yeah.
And just
it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see this love, like the Barry's love for these people.
I still love the crossover when Oliver's like, yeah, we don't get the girls. Both of them are there.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. Same situation.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Felicity and Iris.
Yeah.
So, and anything else to add, Mike, for predictions? I know you were talking about Arrow first. Anything for Flash?
What was I gonna say?
Anything that's worth noting?
No, not really.
Okay. Matt, anything for you?
No, that's about it.
Okay. So it's going to be interesting to see what pops up. These are going to be some cool next couple of weeks.
We'll see how next week goes, and
we're kind of at a midpoint, I think.
Yeah, this is the midpoint finale here.
Kind of.
No, it is because mid-season finale this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, this week is mid-season finale.
How many? Wasn't it like 20-some episodes for Arrow?
Yeah.
I think so.
Per season? We're only on like episode 8.
7 or 8.
Yeah, well, maybe it's not, but I thought we were.
We're close. If they're doing...
I hope they're not doing...
I hope they're doing like 24 episodes.
Well, yeah,
no, they probably will, but I think the second half is actually larger than the beginning, just because of Christmas. I think they cut it off.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're going to be stopping for Christmas?
I think so.
Same with Walking Dead.
Back. Yeah, because that's what Walking Dead did. Walking Dead started a couple weeks before, I think. And
when does Walking Dead plan on coming back?
Probably February with like most of them.
That's how they do it almost every year. They take
Game of Thrones in March or April.
Game of Thrones. Right in between there. Yeah. So okay. So now, actually, since we're mentioning Walking Dead, mid-season finale.
Awesome.
Holy moly.
Awesomeness.
Holy moly. Now I'm going to cheat here and say that I haven't been keeping up with this season, and I feel kind of bad. But I saw this last the mid-season finale. That was insane.
Rick is a badass.
And
I love it.
Yeah.
Just when in the car, it's like, I just told you to stop. That's all you had to do was stop.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He's pretty much he's like off the hinge.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Well,
I don't care.
Well, it's not necessarily he doesn't care. It's like it's more like a mother bear, papa bear kind of a thing. Like, if you threaten my group, I will destroy you. And if you don't do what I tell you,
he doesn't have a filter.
Well, and that's not necessarily bad.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
I like it.
So do I. I really agree. But
Daryl, it kind of plays that part now of Rick, hold on. Let's think about this.
Mm-hmm.
He's the mind now.
Yeah.
The conscience.
So let me ask you this. So now since we saw the mid-season finale, and I basically saw a couple episodes in between the beginning and now.
Say nitpick.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I basically got a complete narrative, to be honest. I don't think I need to see anything else. I will most likely go back and watch because I want to see it, but this goes. And this is what you're mentioning before, or I saw something like on the internet, like on Kotaku or something like that. But having story character driven episodes, so you ping to Rick and Daryl for 1 or 2 episodes, and then you ping to that happens at the same time, like Michonne and Carl, or whatever the case may be, for a couple episodes. And then you kind of end it with everybody meeting back up together. What do you think? Do you think that's a good way of telling the story?
I hate that formula.
Really?
I really do. Because me coming from reading, I get kind of bored with it. I think if they can do that, jump from scene to scene. Like if they want to do like half an episode of one person and the other half of the other one, I would love that.
Yeah.
More or less, but not like the whole episode of just like that one episode that I complained about the other week where it was just all Abraham, about Abraham.
Yeah, Abraham.
That could have been 15 minutes, and you could have got into some good stuff with the other part of the group, too. I mean, I guess it's okay. Storytelling, it is like the comics a little bit then.
Uh-huh. But yeah, because
I just don't like it as a...
I haven't read any of the comics, and it's usually how, like a comic book episode will go is... Or like a comic book will go is it'll be explaining this one specific point of view, almost.
Yeah, just books in general.
Well,
tend to be that way.
Well, yeah, and it's very interesting to see it play out on a TV show. You know what I mean?
The only downside is that sometimes it feels too slow.
Yes,
I agree with that.
That was a problem. Like, actually, that's more or less my problem with it. Yeah, it was just so draggy and. Kind of, they have to add more to it or change it a little more. Mm-hmm. Even though I know that's what people were complaining about in the other seasons, I was one of them. I'll admit it. But after they started like, oh yeah, we're gonna correct it more to go more towards the books, that's when I was like, actually, it kind of was nice with a little bit of difference.
Yeah, I mean, it made me want to read the comic books and watch a TV show now. But now with it being starting to come back into a single point or very similar. Story, I'm just like, well, I'll just watch a TV show.
Just to compare it, it's kind of like when someone making a movie splits it into 2 parts.
Like Harry Potter,
like Harry Potter, or
Part 1, 2, or
Mockingjay.
Now with
because Mockingjay, the first part, not to go too much into it, but it had that same kind of feeling. Like, you kind of end the movie, and you're like. I don't feel like I saw everything. We could have shortened it a little bit and just finished the whole thing. It was a little too slow paced. Good movie, but
yeah, I gotcha.
Just because they did that. So like with Walking Dead, you get some of those. You'll hit like an episode and you're just like, this isn't necessary. You could just cut some of this
shorten it up or not show it at all.
Yeah,
I don't know about cutting out some of the
not
stuff.
Cut it out, but like you can shorten it.
I gotcha. Well, again, I thought this season or the mid-season finale was really good, and I hope that the show continues strong because it's totally outviewed Sunday Night Football,
which is crazy
on multiple episodes too. So I'm hoping that they don't do anything dumb, but I wouldn't mind seeing risk taken because like I totally might see Beth.
That was shocking.
That was insane.
I completely thought completely different. My original prediction was the way it was going.
Didn't you think like Glenn was gonna die? Did you say that?
No.
Oh.
That I'm not gonna say anything about that right now, just in case there's other people that want to know.
Well, it's
like,
a spoiler
cast, stuff, but yeah, but we're not gonna talk about that. That's even far. That's yeah. We're not
is that comic book territory?
Yeah, that's comic book territory right now.
Oops.
So. What I was saying originally was, because I have read the comics, there is a new bad guy coming.
Okay.
But the way they were talking, like, that officer at the one episode, and then, or actually this last one, he kind of talked about it, but they kind of hinted it before, where, like, oh yeah, Dawn's not totally in control. Like, there's someone else. And then you had the other cannibals that were like, we were forced to, by this group kind of thing, like, I was like, oh, this is that bad guy. I'm not busting out names because I don't want to. But I was like, yeah, this is that really bad guy that's coming. That's like puts the governor to shame.
I was gonna say, is it like Governor like Super Saiyan?
Yeah, it definitely is. I was expecting that to happen. So like, I was expecting more or less we'd see his face at the end. But no, with the cannibals, it didn't even happen that way. And then they shot me down with this one too. We still got some new characters coming probably right when the other one starts because I have a feeling they're going to try to find a new place now.
Yeah.
So we'll see some new stuff there. I'm not going to make too many predictions with that.
Could be that one town.
Yeah, then we could probably be talking about seeing what I was originally predicting, him showing his face, because I thought maybe that group was going to be like, well, you don't understand. I thought Rick was going to go in blazing the last episode.
Yeah.
And they didn't, but I expected them to go in blazing, and then this last episode would have been this bad guy showing his face and setting it up for the next part of the season. But I was completely wrong. That whole Beth thing just completely blew me away.
Yeah, that really blew. Yeah, literally.
And Daryl didn't waste any time shooting her in the face.
Good.
As she was doing that weird thing that you were mentioning earlier, Matt, she was like, "No, please don't shoot. I didn't mean to do that."
It almost seemed like, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
It almost seemed like Beth was so pissed that she's like, "Screw you! I'm gonna stab you." And it was like on her end, it was like she's so woundly tight in her own little world that she just reflex. And she didn't realize that she did it until Beth keeled over. Like, oh crap, I just did what I thought I did. And then she looks at Daryl or Rick, and then that's when she gets her head blown apart.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
The only thing, my friend Joe and I were talking about it, and he didn't like the fact that Beth stabbed her. He's like, his point was that was Dawn that bad that Beth had to stab her.
Wait, what? Was
Dawn that bad?
Was Dawn a bad enough person that Beth needed to stab her?
That's a good point.
Because
if
you think about it, she's just doing what Rick does in the earlier episodes, trying to keep everyone together.
Yeah.
The only point that I made back, which I still stand on, is that Rick never forced people to stay with him.
Mm-hmm.
He always gave them the option to leave.
Yeah.
He was never like, it's me.
It's my way, or you could leave.
It's a Rickocracy in that episode.
Yeah, you can leave. I'm not keeping you here.
Yeah.
But if you follow me, it's my way.
Yeah.
With Dawn, it's like, you're staying here. No matter what.
Yeah, no matter what, because it's better for everybody.
But then it's like, but does that still mean that she had the point enough to just stab her for whatever reason? Compared to like someone who we've had before with the governor, who's just straight up, he should die.
Kill
crazy.
Cray, yeah.
And some people, yeah. No, she wasn't.
It was a little.
Really that crazy.
It's a little kind of like, could it have been prevented?
Yeah, because it was more or less she was bad to her, I guess. But I mean, she did beat her a lot.
Don't forget that she said, with Noah, she's like, "Oh, you always come back," and that was under extraneous, under a circumstance where she made him like, "You come back or there's no deal." Like, oh yeah, that's right, you always come back. Like that's when Beth snapped.
Now
I didn't like her at all. Like I wanted that to happen.
Oh, so did
I. But I'm just so we have that other point of view that someone told me.
I'm curious if Beth didn't stab her, what would have went down? Would it have been just straight up Civil War style down a hallway? Just shooting lines.
You mean, but see now.
But
Noah was going to just go to prevent that from happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you think Rick would actually have just let that happen?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't. That's true. Yeah,
I think there would have been a civil war in there. It would have been firing lines.
Yeah, but another thing too is that why did Beth take those scissors with her anyway? Was she going to still do something? Did she know that there would be a point where she would be able to get close enough to Dawn and stab her?
Well, yeah, she was just taking precautions because she knew that her group was coming. She knows every time there's negotiation with real people in this world that...
Yeah, because
she's been on the outside the whole time. She knows not to trust anyone at that point. So she was just like, I'm putting these in there probably just for the time. Something to protect myself. Walkers, whatever. And then, it just happened. She was like, no, I'm going to stab Dawn with these. That's how I took it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Dawn's being a bitch. I'm going to stab her.
And now Dawn's dead.
Yeah, and then we're all dead.
Yeah. And it almost seemed like a self-sacrifice in a sense, which I liked Beth. She was one of the only, like, grounded in reality kind of a thing, like, characters.
What I think would have made me feel better about it was if we had more... I would have had a little more information of what happened in the hospital beforehand. Mm-hmm. It was kind of vague.
Yeah, it was all
like the Hanley and
why did this?
Did this? Hanley went this way, and so we killed him. Why? What did he do bad to get that?
Because I can understand if they were getting that she was turning into the guy that she killed before, but we didn't have enough information about that.
Yeah, we don't, and when they had that fight with the elevator shaft, O'Donnell, I think was the guy's name. He's like, yeah, just become another Hanley or Harrison or something like that. And she's like, well, yeah, I was the one who was able to finish it because no one else would kill him. So it makes me think, did he...
Maybe I am right.
Did this Harrison guy, like...
Who knows?
Or Hanley, like, did he become so weird and corrupt? Or did he start seeing things as like, no, actually we have to be good, and the other guys was like, no, we have to have security first, kind of a thing. Because again, we don't know why. And and the only thing that is alluded to is that she's acting similar to Hanley or Harrison, whatever.
This person.
The chief, you know.
Which, now that I think about it, if referring to the comics, that's a lot like the town that they go to, where I read up to.
No, it is.
Where
that's why I had my predictions of what I did.
That guy killed the leader, and then he in turn. So I mean, maybe it's on track now. It's what
they're trying to set it up.
This was just their way of telling it in the show.
Yeah, changed it a little bit.
Because I don't think they're going to go to that town in the show. I mean, it's amazing.
Well, they do have to find somewhere to stay. So...
Well, the town, the idea has been...
They'll probably find the town that they stay, and then they visited that other town, and then they were negotiating with them.
Yeah.
Interesting. I will be totally, into this, the other half of the season when it comes up again, because I'm very curious to see what will happen myself.
Yeah, hopefully they'll shed some light on some of the background. Maybe they'll have, like, Noah explain it with the group and be like, hey, this was what happened before with Hanley, or we'll get maybe a little bit of flashbacks. That would be cool.
Yeah.
In that regard. Because they could fill in those blanks.
Yeah, easily.
I mean, what I said earlier could be true. Maybe there is the one guy that is running all these groups a little bit, and different things
because they definitely still have to touch on the people who captured those guys, the cannibal people, before that, and how they ended up taking
over the town. But they said they took it back, but
they don't really. Did they just run them out, or did they? I don't know.
Yeah, or did they negotiate and then work out a deal to where maybe they give them stuff, and just kind of similar to I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see how they unravel that. I really don't have anything to predict on, because again, I only saw bits and pieces. But if I had to give something, I would say that they would have to find another place to like stay, and I think their end mission goal is going to change now, possibly to be in the sense of because how I picked this up was you have to get Eugene down to Washington. He is a scientist guy. Okay.
Did you move?
He is not anymore.
Yeah.
That's a fraud. Okay. I did see that episode.
Okay.
So
sure.
No. I know. So I hope that this next, like their new crusade is something maybe grounded.
That was never Rick's crusade.
Well, I totally understand.
No. Rick just kind of decided, like, if you help me now, we will join you on this crusade. And then he sent like Maggie and Glenn with them, and then that went to crap real quickly. So now they're back. But no, Rick was always just survive.
Survive, yeah. And I think that's going to be the goal of this later half of this season is to survive.
I think we're going to go back to like somewhat like slightly like roots of like season 1 a little bit.
That's fine.
That's fine maybe a couple episodes before like something big happens. I think.
I do wonder if they're ever going to touch back on the actual virus, like scientific part of it.
I would be nice to see,
because they did in season 1, and then they just disappeared.
I heard Robert Kirkman would have done that completely different.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it was on Talking Dead. He talked about how he'd do it completely different. Really? I don't remember exactly how he said it, but he was like, "Yeah, if I went back, I probably would have done that whole thing differently." He's like, "I loved how it ended, but I would have done it differently." So he was having second guesses on that one.
Interesting.
So I don't know if he'll touch on that now.
Like the scientific aspect, actually, or like explaining it?
Yeah, he was like, I kind of released that secret too early in that show. Because in the comics, alright, yeah, that everyone has it. Because he Doctor goes, Rick, in his ear, everyone has it. In the comics, they discover when...
on the farm.
No, not at the farm, at the prison. When Tyrese's daughter and her boyfriend, decided to kill themselves, but he killed her first or something. It didn't work out, and then all of a sudden they reanimated, and then they're like, wait, they were never bitten, so it must be airborne and everyone has it. Now in the show, he's like, I leaked it too early. I leaked it at the CDC. He's like, I would have done that differently. So I don't know if we're gonna get too much scientific stuff for a while.
Yeah.
I doubt we're gonna even touch on that.
Like, it doesn't have to be a whole episode like that, but like just something, just
they just need to something. They need to get out of the state.
Yeah, they really do. They
like,
really
get out
do.
of Georgia.
I think a change of scenery would be good for
I totally agree, because that's what they do in the comics. They finally get out of Georgia. Like,
I think it was out of Georgia. Yeah, they started heading out a little bit, I think. But I don't know if they made it completely out of Georgia.
I think it'd be cool to see some of the bigger picture stuff. Like,
yes.
They find out what's happening somewhere else in the world.
And I think that's one aspect of the TV show that they can do, I think, better than the comic book. I never read the comic book, so this could totally mean poopy for people who've read both. But like, show us what's going on in Nevada, or show us what's going on in Chicago or Detroit, or somewhere on the West Coast, like DC, Florida, or something.
Get like maybe like for a second they get like power, and then get like a TV thing, or someone's trying to communicate or something.
Anything.
They just see something.
Anything. Yeah. If I was showrunner, I would be pushing for that.
Or like the CDC guy said, France or something. Maybe get some kind of log over there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like that would be cool.
I mean, granted, it would take them forever to get somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't have...
You don't have anything.
They're back to, like, living
Stone
out in the
Age.
wilderness.
They don't even have horses, because they're all pretty much eaten.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's even worse than carriage and buggy times, if you look at it that way.
That's true, yeah.
That, and I'd like to see what they're doing with, with the hordes of, walkers.
Yeah, yeah. Because
we haven't really ran into a lot of them.
Yeah, because the zombie...
They emphasized on that a lot more in the comics.
They do.
Yeah, because we know...
They're like an unstoppable force at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Because we know that they're there, but like they've managed how to work around it, kind of a thing now. But I would like the aspect of the zombie or the walkers to become a bigger threat or a constant. Again.
Yeah. They do start using that stuff to their advantage at times. Mm-hmm. I will say that. I'm not going to say anything more because I'm going way too far ahead.
Okay. You guys want to say anything else predicting wise or no? Okay.
No, I think I capitalized on everything I had.
Cool. So I figure we talk a little bit about movie news. Movie news. So last we had the episode. I know that we had Thanksgiving last week and some stuff like that. So a lot of the movie information has come out. We're not going to talk about everything, but first and foremost, Star Wars. Oh, Star Wars, Star Wars, and it's basically a year away. Like I am literally like.
It's gonna be a long year.
It's gonna be it's gonna be like when I was 8, waiting for my birthday. Like after I had one. Like, it's gonna be another long year.
I don't know. It might be a little worse for me.
Yeah, it might be worse for all of us actually. So I gotta say, this totally felt like a Star Wars trailer. I liked what I saw. Now this is me personally. I liked what I saw. I had no problems with the lightsaber. Thought it was really cool. And then the ending shot of the Millennium Falcon doing that awesome. That
kind of just took the cake.
Oh yeah, they put the cherry on top of the 100-layer cake.
I like the X-wings better. I was like,
I was totally.
That's where it got me. The X-wings over the water. I was like,
the ships in general.
Yeah,
really good.
Mm-hmm. So now because this is called NCP Predicts, I'm going to predict some of the plot of the movie.
Right.
So we know that it's called The Force Awakens, and we have a voiceover who has now been confirmed of Andy Serkis doing the voiceover. We do not yet know how far in the future Episode 7 happens. Okay, all we know is that it's roughly possibly 30 years in the future since Episode 6.
I could see 20, 30 years.
I could see 20 or 30 years.
They had about that much of a jump from the prequels.
That and the actors are really old.
Well, and that's the only logical way of explaining how old they are now. So what I'm guessing is they're going to take more or less a kind of like broad spark note overview of the expanded universe that happens in the books, because there's a rich history before they rebranded the expanded universe to Legends. But I think what we're going to see is more or less a movie version of the Thrawn trilogy mixed in with the Rebuild the Jedi Order trilogy a little bit, in the sense that Luke has already started to or has rebuilt the Jedi Order. There are now hundreds of members, not thousands like the prequels, and that the dark side is starting to pop up again in other Sith teachings or Sith organizations.
Because Return of the Jedi is pretty much them ending the dark side temporarily.
Because
the Emperor.
Yeah,
and then Vader
they kill the Emperor.
Dies, so
they kill the. So if you go basically of what we see in the movies, technically the Sith Order has now been dead. Okay. If you go with the expanding the books, technically that's not true. There's sleeper agents. The Emperor actually comes back as a Force ghost and goes into a younger body. It's a whole other caboodle. And it'd be interesting to see if they do anything similar to it. But I think what we're going to see is more or less a kind of like the Empire. And this has been asked too on the internet. Why is there still an Empire? Why are there stormtroopers?
Yeah.
I think we're going to see small remnants of because the Empire controlled.
It was huge.
It controlled hundreds of star systems.
Just because the Emperor dies, it doesn't mean all that just disappears.
Exactly.
Because they had maybe Luke took it over at that point.
Possibly, yeah.
And
possibly.
then now those are actually like the clone troopers practically.
Almost. I mean, that is a total possibility. But I think at least in the Force Awakens, I think we're going to see possibly the quote unquote the remnants of the Empire probably finally being extinguished. And then when they do that, Luke and the Jedi Order is like, oh crap, there's another threat, and this will set up 7, 8, or 8, 9. Is the dark side's back? It's been hiding, and for whatever reason, plot mechanics or plot story, it's because of this, or there's been more than 2 Sith sitting in the back, in the shadows.
I mean, for all we know, that stormtrooper that was shown in the beginning could be a good guy.
Yeah, it could be what they did in episode or in New Hope, where Luke and Han took the armor.
Exactly.
And we don't know with granted, we did see those updated stormtrooper suits. We don't know if that's right after episode 6. We don't know if that's a flashback to an earlier time. I mean, we just don't know.
The helmets look sweet though.
Oh god, dude, that looks. I
like them a lot.
It's like take Oakley's and put those in there. Now they look amazing.
Yeah, it's I like how I see if you look how the X-Wings looked in that shot, they looked kind of like run down but crisp. I liked how everything looked crisp.
Well, it has been
especially for being CG, they do a really good job.
Yes, and I think they're going to look phenomenal. And
at this point, you'd think we'd have different ships because there would be old technology, but they probably want to have. But if it is still the Rebels Empire, they probably still are using some of the same old equipment.
Oh yeah,
if you leave it that way.
Yeah, I mean,
it is interesting to see who's going to be.
I would think they would have had the Falcon maybe with a couple more changes.
Because I don't think Luke would have taken over everything because they showed TIE fighters shooting at the Millennium Falcon, so obviously someone took control.
Somebody took something, and that's what happens in the Thrawn trilogy. A Grand Moff basically takes over the Empire, and this is when the Emperor comes back as a clone. He basically stops the Empire from crumbling, and the rebels have to son of a bitch. They have to really drive it home and defeat this person. And I have a funny feeling it's going to be very similar to that the Empire didn't necessarily stop. They just shrunk down to a size to where it's manageable for this person or group of people, and they're now slowly expanding out. Again, that's possibly what we could see.
I'm interested to see if they're going to bring back the Jedi Council. If perhaps maybe Luke's training people. Mm-hmm. To have more Jedis, because obviously he's the only. If I only
see Luke being the only Jedi, I'm going to walk out of that movie. I don't care how much Star Wars.
There needs to be more.
There has to be, because that's one of the things that Luke does right when he kills the Emperor. Is he starts looking for Force sensitives, and he starts training them in the Force. I have a whole book series if you want to read about that.
I mean, if you got a guy with a Claymore lightsaber, there definitely has to be more.
Speaking of which, lightsaber. That thing looks sick. I liked how it looked.
I liked it. A lot of people just...
Yeah, a lot of people are like, well, that's stupid.
And what I thought was cool was someone I saw, I think it was Stephen Colbert, talked about it, saying how it's actually like just the beam itself inside is just split.
Yeah, it's basically redirected back into 2 other ports. Yeah. So if you chop down into the
hill, it's actually just going to hit the beam.
It's still going to hit the beam.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
So I thought that was interesting.
That makes sense. Like I
actually like that. Would be useful, you know.
Well, yeah.
It'd be useful in the fact that, you know, if some lightsaber's coming down, you won't get your hand chopped off.
Well, I mean, in just simple medieval...
Luke style?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, in simple medieval stuff in real life, they have those guards for swords. What if that was Luke?
What if it was? Yeah, because remember he got his arm cut off? So he's like, maybe I'll make a lightsaber.
Because when you think about how...
It could be. We don't know. We don't know who that is.
How crazy would that be?
How he got his hand cut off with, was it Vader, I think, got his hand cut off too?
Yeah.
Like, it came down, right? And then...
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because Vader did that little, like, circle O move, and then he just went up with it. And he just, Luke's like, ah.
Yeah, so if you had the guard...
That wouldn't happen.
It would be extremely, extremely difficult. Unless he bounced it off and he was coming up underneath it.
It'll be really interesting.
Yeah,
I'm really curious to see how it's going to work.
Yes.
Because that would fit with what I was saying. What if Luke took over the Empire at that point, and then
that would?
Because the reason why I feel that way,
I don't think so, because that actually happens in the book.
Him taking over.
He doesn't take over the Empire, but the Emperor seduces Luke in the dark side, and the only reason why Luke did it is because he wanted to know what it felt like to have the dark side.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, it makes total sense.
So, if that was Luke, holy moly. All right, that is our prediction.
Yeah, like...
Prediction right there.
Yeah.
It's Luke.
Hold on. Let me make it official. Prediction official. Official stamp. I'm actually using a
Because, I mean, it might make sense. Because then it would explain why... They would explain a lot of it.
Well, I mean...
Because if you look, George Lucas originally was going to have Luke put on the helmet at the end of Revenge of the Jedi at one point. That was his original cut, I think.
Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, Return of the Jedi.
Well, that's right, yeah. Yeah, that's right, yeah.
He was going to be like, Luke, put on the helmet. So maybe they're going back to old roots.
Oh my god. This is Well, it's a very interesting theory.
That would be mind-blowing.
It's a very interesting theory, but we know with casting and stuff like that, that's not necessarily the case. We know that there are other people that are rumored to play a dark side character or a Sith character, and Luke is playing Luke Skywalker, and and a good Luke, for that matter. But I mean, we could totally be thrown for a loop in a twist.
No, I mean, it could
this is J.J. Abrams for that. Khan's not in our next Star Trek movie, and lo and behold, he is. But
yeah, I mean, we could be seeing like 3 sides. You could have the Sith, you could have the Empire, and the Rebels.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
They showed stormtroopers, but you could have like Luke maybe took over the Empire and is training with them, but the Rebels don't like what Luke's doing. So because if you remember, even then, they had Luke, but they weren't crazy about him. Even in the other ones, they weren't like, "We love you, you're the best."
Well, no. They did. But again, we don't know what happens in that supposed 30-year gap or 25-year gap. If they explain it.
Well, maybe Luke did dabble a little bit,
maybe,
and then then the Rebels are like, wait, he dabbled in that? He can never be good then. Mm-hmm. You never know.
We don't know. We really don't know.
That'd be crazy, though.
Hopefully more trailers are slowly released and, explain maybe just a little bit more about the movie.
Is that thing with his hand floating in space, is that still...
That's still a rumor.
That's a rumor. Okay.
Yes. I don't think it's real. If it is real, I will poop in the movie theater and throw it at the screen. I don't think it's real.
It's safe to say, though, that whoever made that lightsaber doesn't want their hand getting chopped off.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So they would have had to known that Luke got his chopped off and Vader got his chopped off.
Yeah, and they could
the demise of lightsabers.
Yeah,
and you know exactly, and they could be modeling after practicality, like, oh well, if these two great people lost arms because of a simple flaw, I'm going to add 2 extra beams.
Just a simple defect. They've been using them for years, but man, what idiots!
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah. Exactly.
Why don't we just get different lightsaber weapons?
Exactly.
And a lightsaber axe.
Well, they actually in the role playing game they do a spear,
a scythe.
A scythe, I think, is one. A whip. The Darth Lady, who is a secret apprentice of Vader. He was a trainer for like 2 days in the comic books. But she uses a lightsaber whip.
That sounds crazy.
It would be cool to see on the big screen, but I didn't care for the whip.
If they could do that.
I didn't care for the whip. But if you look at the lightsaber too, it looks different. It's not a single solid color like all the other ones were in the past. It has it's unstable. It looks like it has
I thought that was really cool. It was almost like flame.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. It's like a flame. And what if, like what you said,
it had like that movement to it.
Yeah.
That looked really cool.
Yeah. Like what if Luke just made this, because he doesn't know how red lightsabers are made, because they're supposed to be made through synthetic crystals. You know what I mean? So maybe he just made one up.
Because he didn't actually make his one in the original. Well, he made the green one.
The green one.
Yeah. The green one he did it in the form of a Jedi.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's why he honored Obi-Wan Kenobi with making his lightsaber like Obi-Wan Kenobi's.
Yeah.
Maybe he made the red one because he didn't know how to make a Sith red one because he wasn't trained that way. Holy moly! Tinfoil hat theory, but that actually sounds like a pretty cool theory in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Like what if the Force is awakening because Luke has been on the dark side, and that's actually that's one of the rumors too, is that Luke has been tempted by the dark side and that he goes away, and then Episode 7 is him coming back from his exile.
When did they go by?
Yeah. Luke, use the Force and run.
It's almost as crazy as Slade killing Sarah.
There you go.
Yep. I feel it's a little more mind blowing though. This is Luke and Star Wars.
Oh yeah. You guys have anything more to add to the trailer? I think
we nailed it pretty good.
Yeah. So okay, and then another big piece of movie news that came out too is Marvel greenlit the Suicide Squad. Not Marvel, DC. Ooh, that was blasphemous.
Watch out!
I'm sorry. Don't hate me, people. Was DC Warner Brothers / Warner Brothers greenlit Suicide Squad, and they have some pretty high up names in there. Will Smith is playing Deadshot. Tom Hardy's playing Rick Flag. Jared Leto's playing the Joker, and that's the big thing that a lot of people are like hanging on to in that movie news is what is this Joker going to be? Is it going to be a Heath Ledger copycat, or is it going to be a new style kind of a Joker?
I feel they'll go new style.
I hope
I feel like it'll be more towards. I'm just throwing something out there. I think it'll be more towards the animated series Joker.
I thought that too. I really did.
Because he has the look of him.
Kind of,
if
yeah.
you kind of look at him, he kind of looks like that.
Yeah.
That Joker.
Yeah, when he's in 30 Seconds of Mars singing, he looks kind of like an emo, like,
yeah.
But hopefully he'll be funny. But the supposed rumors that Joker will be the villain, and that the Suicide Squad is sent in to stop him. And for those who don't know, the Suicide Squad is, to kind of give like a really spark note version, is a group of supervillains who get a chance to do one last good thing before they all die because the mission is so deadly.
And the only reason they're doing it is because they have something attached to them that will kill them if they don't listen to orders.
Well, yeah, and that's how it's portrayed in the Arrow. I don't think that's 100%.
And they have. I read that they had like bracelets.
Yeah. I don't think it's neck guards, but they have something.
Not implants
in their brains.
Yeah. So I'm actually going to be looking forward to this. I was talking to one of our friends, Joey, a different Joe than than the one that you mentioned earlier, but I was talking to him, and I was hoping that that this movie will get DC's cinematic universe kind of like kickstarted. Because I was talking to Joey and Danny, and I said to Danny, I'm like, I hope that Batman. I have a feeling Batman vs Superman's gonna suck. it's going to be so bad that we're going to be led one thing. We're going to see something that's going to be.
I'm going in with low expectations, so I'll probably enjoy it.
I'm going with apocalyptic expectations because I have a feeling that Batman vs Superman is going to blow, and that they're doing Suicide Squad as like a backup kind of a thing. But
bring Will Smith to recover it all.
Yeah. I mean, Will Smith used to have star power.
I mean, I hope they give him. Will Smith can do a really good job.
Yeah.
I just hope they give him.
I like him as an actor.
Because in that, I saw what's that movie?
After Earth.
After Earth was so bad.
Ugh. It was all about his kid.
Like Will Smith's just. I'm like, come on, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Could have done a way better job because they lead you on. That you're thinking it's Will Smith, and Will Smith just sits there the entire movie.
I agree. I totally agree. But, yeah, no.
Although it'd be interesting seeing him play a villain.
Well, play a villain to be a good guy, kind of a thing, but...
Yeah. Still, they're villains. They don't...
Yeah.
I don't think they all want to work together either.
That's true. And especially Harley Quinn's supposed to be part of the Suicide Squad.
Which is interesting with her going against the Joker.
If Joker's the villain.
Yeah, that would be weird.
There's no way the Joker's part of the Suicide Squad.
I don't think he is on normal...
He isn't.
Yeah.
Like, if they couldn't do that.
Yeah.
He's too big of a villain to...
Yeah. And that would be a way, if they're going to keep it canonical in the cinematic universe, is to have him be introduced in the Batman vs. Superman universe. Because I think this is all happening... The only one that we know that was separate universe is Shazam. Shazam is a separate universe. I don't think they mention anything whether or not Suicide Squad's going to happen in a separate universe or together with Shazam or somewhere else. So.
Sure.
Yeah. So
that's tough to find out.
Yeah, exactly. More news I'm sure will be flowing once things starting up. Anything else you guys want to mention? Joker or anything like that?
No.
Okay. And then one last thing I think we should... Oh, two more things. Jurassic World.
My childhood has came back. I've been waiting for so many years.
I'm going to be looking forward to this movie. However, the trailer that we saw, when I heard the person say, "Oh, we made a new dinosaur, a hybrid dinosaur," I'm like, really? You're doing really?
I thought that was cool.
Come on.
Because they're kind of going into more of a modern thing.
Yeah, like what we're doing, GMOs, all this other stuff. I mean, it is. It's. I thought
that was a new take on it instead of it being the same thing over and over.
I think just the way they portrayed it was a little stupid, but
okay. Well,
I think it'll be better than.
Again. Other than that, I was happy with what I saw. It would be interesting to see if they give us more backstory on how long the park's been open, because it looks like the park's been open for a while, kind of a thing. Like they finally figured out a formula that works, and then all of a sudden they throw this hybrid dinosaur that screws up the formula.
I think it has been working from the way it seems. Like probably maybe 5-10 years. Because
what I want to know is what is it a hybrid with?
That's what I want to know. If it's
that's the big. Is the big question.
Is it hybrid dinosaur human? Like, are we going to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like kicking down stuff? Like,
what's his name? The actor from
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. Yeah. He's like, well, what did he mix? What did they mix?
Yeah.
Like what kind of dinosaur did they create?
Yeah.
So as they show the claw marks on the wall, climbing the wall.
I didn't know the casting before I saw the trailer.
Oh yes, I totally.
So when I saw Chris Pratt, I was like, yes.
I'm like, wait a minute, is this Jurassic Park or Guardians of the Galaxy 2? Like, what's going on here? And at the end of the trailer where he's motorcycling through with his Raptor squad, that was so cool.
I'm so excited for that. Like,
yeah,
I hear there's a big fan base already starting over that.
Yeah.
Just from the trailer, it cannot be worse than 2 and 3.
I didn't mind 2. I thought 2.
I love 2.
I like 2 a lot.
I really
especially
love
3.
Oh, 3.
3.
3 was like a.
I'll just put it in the okay territory.
It was like a repeat.
Yeah.
3 was it was like a redo of 1.
Which wasn't needed.
Yeah. Because I like... 1 is a classic. 2 was like they continued the story. Because
2 was cool because
it was a sequel.
It was a little different too.
It was a sequel.
They took you to like, the dinosaur came.
3's like, you guys want more Jurassic Park? We're going to have a kid get lost there.
Yeah.
And we're going to just drag the actor from the first one in there for you.
Yeah. Again, I didn't mind it. I thought 3 was okay. It was cool seeing that T-Rex getting his ass
I liked
kicked.
it.
I don't think they were terrible.
No,
this one will be. I feel like it'll be a lot better.
It will be like it'll be like one quality. Like this is good.
I think they're gonna base it more on suspense, like the other one was built off of.
Oh yeah.
The first one was built off of suspense, similar to like Jaws.
Yeah.
You never seen the shark in Jaws.
Until
look at the sequels of Jaws. You've seen the shark so many times. It was like it became lamer and lamer and lamer. I think they're gonna try and bring it to like.
Well, I mean, same thing with like
what kind of dinosaur is it?
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna see it until like mid to end to mid of the thing.
Almost kind of like another one that Stan Winston Studios worked on was Predator. You didn't see the Predator until you're 3/4 of the way in.
Yeah,
like until the
I
final
have a feeling
act.
they're gonna go that way.
Like that, I would be totally down for that.
Like,
Alien did it. Aliens did it. You know.
Yeah, I feel it's gonna be like you're gonna get maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes of this is the park. This is how it works. This is how we've been doing this, and then, because I think they said, like, the executives were coming there or something like that.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling they're going to be like, oh, yeah, this is how our park works. This is pretty great.
Yeah.
And then this is this. We've been creating dinosaurs. We're doing this. And then, we have a slight glitch. And then you're going to start seeing things happening, but we don't know what exactly, is causing it because they don't disclose it's by classified information.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably... towards the end, we'll see the final dinosaur, and then
it'd be cool.
Figure out a solution.
I hope this opens up for more franchise possibilities because I really like the idea of Jurassic Park. Now it's Jurassic World. Is this only one special species that was released to this one park? We don't know if it's only one park.
Oh yeah, because the world. Yeah, look at Disneyland turned into now we have Disney World.
Yeah. Is there more than one park now? So. It'd be interesting. I am looking forward to this film, regardless of my stupid, ew, it's a hybrid. Well, come on.
That and the other thing is, the third one, we still have those pterodactyls that are flying and following them. I'm just saying.
Attack of the Pterodactyl.
You don't know where they went. You don't know where they went.
Well, yeah. I mean,
if they're keeping it, like that.
Yeah. So, anything else to add?
No, I just can't emphasize how excited I am for that movie.
Yeah,
it can't come out any quicker.
I agree because that's another one that's late next year, right? No, July.
No, I think it's like end of spring or spring or something.
It comes out after Age of
before
Ultron.
Summer, yeah.
So,
I don't know. I think I'm more excited for that one in Star Wars than any other movie. Even what Marvel's doing.
It's like Star Wars, Age of Ultron, Jurassic.
I mean, it's Star Wars, Jurassic, then Age of Ultron.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's totally fine.
I'm more on board with Eric.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
I've just always been a big Jurassic Park guy. I've always loved them.
I got you. No, I totally got you. Totally got you. So, one last little tidbit of movie news, is the Terminator Genesis trailer was also released a couple days ago.
I mean, Terminator Days of Future Past.
Yeah, Terminator Days of Future Past, yeah. So, what we get from the trailer, and I guess maybe a question that everybody has seen it. Why are they going back to the Terminator 1 scenario where they send Kyle Reese back in time? So I think what they're doing is similar to what they did in X-Men Days of Future Past. Is that they're at this one end of the future, and the Terminators or Skynet send the Terminator to kill Sarah Connor when she was a kid. And that just effed up the whole timeline. So now Kyle Reese has to go back to save her mother again, but they don't know that the time has already been changed. So when they get back, that's when we see in the trailer, Sarah Connor's like, come with me if you want to live, kind of a thing. Because they didn't know that already happened. And we see old man Schwarzenegger, be coming back into his movie role and stuff like that. Diving into a helicopter. Where are you going? I'll be back. And boom, just head bombs right down in there. I'm going to say that I'm looking forward to the film. You guys have anything to add to it? Maybe not. Oh my!
I don't have high expectations at all for this.
That one is definitely low expectations.
Yeah. Well, I hope it's good because I thought the Terminator series was actually a really good idea. Because I always wanted to see what they do to end the war. Because we always see go back, to prevent it.
But we haven't seen that yet.
The thing with me is every movie has been about the same thing. Oh, were we going to stop the Stop Judgment Day.
Judgment Day.
Then they stop it, and then there's another movie. Oh, we're gonna stop Judgment Day, prolong it. Mm-hmm. Then they do it, and then another one. Oh, we're gonna do it again.
Yeah, just keep on milking it.
Well, the first one is they prevent the resistance from
right.
from not happening. Second one is they prevent Judgment Day from happening. The third one is Judgment Day is inevitable, so we have to help you. We have to help you so you can start the resistance. And then the fourth one was
about the future.
About the future, about the resistance starting, more or less, or already starting. So
yeah, we do need a closer.
Yeah.
Or are they going to leave, this one again?
I mean,
he's going to keep on resetting it.
Well, since Schwarzenegger's back to do movies, I don't think he's just going to end it with this film. To be honest, I think we're going to maybe see one or two more if this one does well.
If it does well.
If it makes money, it doesn't necessarily have to be good, but if it makes money. But yeah, you guys anything to add really quick?
No, pretty
should wrap it up.
All right. Well, thanks again, guys, for listening to another episode of NCP Predicts. My name is Stazz, and Mike and Matt joined with this episode. You can find us on the various social media sites on Facebook at Nerd Central Cosplay, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And if you like what you heard, just leave a comment saying, "Hey, we liked what you heard," or "like what you said." If you didn't like it, let us know. That's the only way that we can do
Tell us
stuff.
what you didn't like.
Yeah, that's the only thing that we can do better. I know I have a squeaky goddamn chair. That might be annoying for some people, but yeah, just let us know what you liked or didn't like, and just hit us up on YouTube or Facebook. And also look forward to seeing our actual website pretty soon. We should be getting that done next month or two, roughly. I look at Mike and he's like,
I don't know now. We'll see.
But again, that will be coming. So thanks again, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Time.
Bye.
Bye.
There you go.